If you work anywhere near marketing, you've probably asked at least one of these three questions. Is SEO dead? Do I need to learn a whole new discipline with a new name? And what about the 20 years of search experience my team has already built up? You'll hear confident answers to all three. Most of them come from someone selling something. So this lesson does three things. We'll sort out the alphabet soup, AEO, GEO, and the rest. We'll look at what the actual measurements say about rankings and AI citations. And we'll sort your current search program into three piles. What still works, what's new, and what to stop doing. Let's get into it. Start with the names, because the confusion is not an accident. Here's the thing about naming a discipline. Whoever coins the term gets to sell the services under it. So the acronyms multiplied because there was money in multiplying them. Once you know that, the whole debate gets a lot less stressful. You don't need to pick a side, you just need to know what each term actually points to. There are three worth knowing. AEO, Answer Engine Optimization. This is the oldest term. It goes back about a decade to the era of featured snippets and voice assistants. That age is mostly a strength. It carries years of real craft, and it names the thing you actually want, to be the answer a person receives. GEO, Generative Engine Optimization. This one came out of a research paper, and venture capital ran with it. You'll see it in funding announcements and tool marketing, usually next to a claim that GEO replaces SEO. The term points at something real. AI answers get written from your content, not just linked to it. The problem is the hype. The money behind GEO shows up with bigger claims than the data actually supports. LLMO, Large Language Model Optimization. This one is about how the AI models themselves recognize and describe your brand. And that's a real concern for a major brand. But for a small one, honestly, your only lever there is the public web presence you should be building anyway. Now here's the fact that deflates the whole debate. Compare these approaches tactic by tactic, and they overlap by roughly 80 to 90%. Well-structured, fact-dense, current, honest content from a credible and technical sound source. It serves AEO, it serves GEO, it serves LLMO. It's mostly the same work, just under different names. Which means the teams spending hours debating the acronym are spending hours not doing the work. In this series, the umbrella term is AEO. It's the oldest, it carries the most craft, and it names the goal. When something is specific to one platform, we'll just name the platform. That's it, vocabulary settled. So define it properly, because a good definition doubles as a checklist. Answer engine optimization is the practice of maximizing the chance that your content and your brand are found, understood, selected, and cited by AI models. 4 verbs, each one is a place where you can win or lose. Found means you're present and healthy in the indexes these platforms search, and their bots can reach and read your pages. Understood means your content is divided into clean passages that make sense on their own, and there's no confusion about who your brand is. Selected means surviving the elimination rounds. Relevance, structure, freshness, authority. Cited means actually appearing in the answer, as a source or a named brand. In one honest boundary, AEO ends where the answer ends. What the person does after reading it, the purchase, the loyalty, the branded search 3 days later, that belongs to the rest of your marketing. Now the question about your existing skills. Do they carry over? Yes, and the case rests on 3 supports. First, how the systems are built. Every major AI platform builds its answers from a search index. Google's own index feeds its AI products. A Bing class backend feeds ChatGPT and Copilot. Brave feeds Claude. Perplexity runs on its own. The indexes are the pools that answers get built from, so the skills that earn your placement in search indexes transfer automatically. Second, the people doing this work agree. The AI platforms depend on search indexes and can't replace them anytime soon. Search visibility remains the foundation of AI visibility. Third, Google itself has now said it. In 2026, Google published guidance on optimizing for its AI features. From Google's perspective, optimizing for AI answers is optimizing for search. And the same document knocked down some popular myths. Special AI files, content chunking tricks, rewriting your content for AI. Google says none of it is needed for their products. One caveat, and it matters. That ruling covers Google's products only. The other platforms weigh things differently, and the numbers prove it. Which brings us to the most argued about question in this field. How much does AI citation depend on traditional rankings? Look at the published numbers, and they seem to be at war. One study found 99% of Google AI overview citations come from the organic top 10, but another measured 76%, then repeated the measurement a year later and got 38, and others report figures as low as 17. And for the chat assistants like ChatGPT, strict tests find overlap in the 10 to 12% range. Those numbers are all over the place. And when the numbers are all over the place, you can pull one out to prove almost anything. That's exactly what the vendors do. They quote whichever number supports what they are selling. Instead of picking a favorite number, ask 2 questions of any overlap claim you ever see. First, which platform? This is the biggest driver of this spread. Google's AI overviews sit on Google's own index, so it's strongly tied to Google rankings. The chat assistants pull from other indexes, so they're weakly tied. Most of the apparent contradictions dissolve right there. Second, which year? This relationship is moving fast. That 76 falling to 38 happened inside a single year, using the same method. A study from last year measured in a different world. Run the studies through those questions, and 2 findings hold up. The tie between rankings and citations depends on the platform. Strong at Google, weak at the assistants. And the tie is loosening even where it's strongest. Quarter by quarter, these systems care a little more about median quality and a little less about where you rank. Now you can answer the big question yourself, and the honest answer has 3 parts. First, you still need SEO. Every AI platform picks its sources from a search index. So if your site isn't doing well in search, you can't get picked. And for Google's AI products, your Google ranking still matters a lot. Most of their citations come from pages that already rank well. Second, good rankings aren't enough on their own anymore. A few years ago, if you ranked at the top, the AI answer almost always cited you. But every year, fewer of the cited sources come from the top ranked pages, even at Google. So you can rank well and still never show up in AI answers. And third, it depends on the platform. For chat assistants like ChatGPT, your Google ranking barely matters. What matters there is whether your site shows up in the search indexes they actually use, like Bing. So here's the whole answer in plain terms. Keep doing SEO. It's what gets you considered. But don't treat your ranking as the win anymore, because the win is being in the answer. Here's an exercise. Take your 10 most important queries. For each one, record 3 things. Your Google rank, whether an AI overview appears, and whether you're cited in it, and whether a couple of chat assistants mention you for the same question. The pattern tells you which world you live in. Ranking well and cited by Google, but absent from the assistants, that's the most common profile. Your program works on Google and stops at Google's edge. Ranking well but absent everywhere, that points to a content problem, or to queries where AI assistants crowd everyone out. And absent everywhere, then you found your starting point, and it's earlier than you thought. Last big piece, sort your current program into 3 buckets. Bucket 1, what carries over? Crawl and index health, content quality and credibility, clean site structure, the craft of writing direct answers, your local profiles and reviews. If you count the actual hours, most of a good SEO program lands in this bucket. Anyone who told you to throw it out was probably selling you something. Bucket 2, what's genuinely new? Writing at the passage level, so each section stands on its own. Caring about Bing and Brave, not just Google. Researching real questions instead of keywords, because people ask AI models full questions. Measuring citations and mentions, not just rankings. Putting real effort into the sites you don't own, because that's where most brand mentions come from. And refreshing content on a schedule, because citations fade as content ages. Notice what's in this list. It's operations and measurement, not magic. You can build it deliberately. Bucket 3, what to stop doing. Treating rank position as the scoreboard. It's still a useful diagnostic, but it's no longer the win. Keyword stuffing and exact match tricks. These systems match by meaning now, so those tricksters don't work anymore. And chasing link volume for its own sake. AEO rewards being talked about, more than being linked to. One last piece of advice, because your next conversation about this is probably an organizational one. Run one program with two layers. The foundation layer is bucket 1. The AEO layer is bucket 2. One team, more measurement. An extension of a competent program, not a replacement. What you should not do is stand up a separate AI team to compete with your SEO team. Remember the overlap. These approaches share most of their tactics. So parallel teams end up optimizing the same pages under different acronyms and reporting numbers nobody can reconcile. Plenty of companies have already made this mistake. You don't need to join them. Let's compress the lesson. The acronyms mostly name the same work. AEO is our word for it. The work is being found, understood, selected, and cited. Your SEO skills are the price of admission. They're necessary and they're no longer enough on their own. Google's AI products still follow Google rankings. The chat assistants mostly don't. Most of your program carries over. The new part is in operations and measurement. And it's one program, not two teams. If you take one thing from this lesson, take this. SEO is necessary, but it's not enough on its own. And it's different for every platform. The next time someone tells you that SEO is dead or that nothing has changed, you'll know the question to ask. Which platform are we talking about? If this lesson was useful, hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching.